The VR campaign, StopTheChamber.com, was recently targeted by the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, the law firm Hunton & Williams, and 3 internet security firms in a domestic spying and political dirty tricks operation. The $12 million operation was proposed by Team Themis, consisting of HBGary Federal, Palantir Technologies, and Barricode Technologies. They used anti-terrorist software developed with U.S. federal government funds to spy and harass Stop the Chamber and other nonprofit organizations, their staff, and anyone who friended, liked, or associated with any of them on social media networks. Now, another hacked email from HBGary that was not processed earlier includes a PowerPoint presentation that exposes more of their nefarious plans to spy domestically on organizations and their members. The Chamber of Commerce targeted VR and Stop the Chamber for exposing their astroturfing activities and corrupting elections. Last October, VR ran numerous ads exposing the Chamber's deceptive ads, paid for by large corporations that ship jobs overseas and using foreign funds to pay for those ads.
Are you there to try to outsource jobs?
See our YouTube channel, VR Admin, to view those ads. The Chamber is so concerned with maintaining its image that it has created a Chamber Myths Debunked website and paid Google to place it above any searches containing U.S., Chamber, and spying. This is similar to what BP did during the Gulf oil spill disaster last year. Congressman Hank Johnson from Georgia has called for investigations into these apparent Chamber crimes. But he is facing a tough time getting the information and the copies of the government contracts with HBGary, Barricode Technologies, and Palantir Technologies from the Defense Department. No one seems to know what is going on over there.
Dr. Miller, would you be so kind as to provide my office with the DoD contracts with Palantir Technologies, Barricode Technology, and the firm HBGary Federal as soon as possible?
Sir, I will do everything possible to do so. What I'll need to do is, frankly, talk to our general counsel and make sure that the provision of that type of information is allowed contractually. And in any case, we'll get back to you as quickly as possible. With as much information as possible.
Contract could bar the executive branch from providing information to the legislative branch.
No, sir. I guess I would like to be able to provide that information to you, and without knowing all the organizations within the department that have the contracts, I'm going to have to go back, and it'll take a bit of time to be able to map that out. And I also need to have an assessment of
whether or not
not of whether or not to provide the information, not of whether or not to provide the information, but in what form to provide the information to you. If you're asking for just the stack of contracts, I will say I'll take that back to the department and be.
Yeah. If there are areas that we can research and take a look at, and we'd be very happy to do that and get back to you.
Well, again, I would like to request copies of any and all contracts between the Department of Defense and the 3 subcontractors, or the 3 contractors that I mentioned: HBGary Federal, Palantir Technologies, and Barricode Technologies. Would you be able to provide me with that information, and also the chairman of the committee?
I don't have that information directly myself, but certainly, again, I'll have staff research that, and we'll get back to you with an answer to that question.
Well, I think it's a very important issue that I'm not planning on sweeping under the rug. I want to at least get those contracts and analyze them to determine whether or not they have been used or they have been breached. So I need that information.
Yes, sir. We'll again, we'll have my staff research it, and we'll get back to you with an answer.
Thank you. Anything you can add, Ms. McGrath?
No, I do not have my own self-familiarity with the proposal or nor those three companies. Certainly, the contracts have written in accordance with the federal acquisition regulations, and we'd have to look at those scope and conditions of each one of those to ensure that there was not a breach of contract. But I do not see an issue with complying with your request to have copies of those contracts, and I'll ensure that Ms. Takai has all the support she needs to get those.
Well, Mr. Kai, I tell you, while I was asking you some questions out of the corner of my eye, I saw somebody come up and give you a note, and that's always kind of arouses my curiosity.
Congressman Johnson has now written letters to Robert Gates, Eric Holder, and James Clapper demanding the contracts and stating that if necessary, he will continue investigating this matter even if other congressional committees do not. Stop the Chamber urges everyone to contact their Congress members and senators and demand a full investigation of chamber leaks and the disclosure of these contracts. Stop the Chamber will continue to press this issue until those involved are held accountable. For more information on how to support us, please go to stopthechamber.org.